जो विधायक नहीं आए उनको हम लोग लगातार हम कह रहे थे कि हम 1 to 1 सब लोगों की बात सुनने के लिए यहाँ पर आए हैं। तो कोई भी बात हो आप हमें कहें, खरगे जी और मैं हम अलग से बैठ करके 1 to 1 सबकी बात सुनेंगे और कोई फैसला नहीं हो रहा है। जो आप बात कहेंगे वो बात हम दिल्ली जाकर के बताएंगे।
Rahul Gandhi spoke about one person, one post thing. But then before that, like Rahul Gandhi apparently had to, or perhaps had to say that because earlier in the day, Ashok Gehlot had said that the one person, one post thing, like the which was decided in Udaipur, Chintan Shivir, it doesn't apply to him because it applies because he's being elected to the post of the party president, and as a CM also he has been elected, so the rule doesn't apply to him. But then Rahul Gandhi, made it clear that he believes that one person, one post rule should be followed. So it's not as if that Ashok Gehlot doesn't want to hold the CM position. He has said many times, like over the past few days, he has indicated that he's ready to step down. But then that's only because he wants to give that impression that he's following the party high command's decision. But then what's going on in his heart, that's a different thing altogether. So that's why whatever we saw, whatever we witnessed yesterday, the 90 MLAs, submitting the resignation with the Speaker CP Joshi. So the origins of all those developments go back, like the origin of all of that is Gehlot making that statement that the one person, one post rule doesn't apply to him. So what happened yesterday was that, like from what I've heard or from what I've understood, after talking to the MLAs here, is that many MLAs had made up their mind that, the party high command seems to be in favor of Sachin Pilot. And irrespective of what had happened in 2020 during the rebellion led by Sachin Pilot, they had maybe moved on, or they were willing to accept him as a party as a CM, because he again has a mass following and he represents the next generation and so on. But these MLAs had more or less made up their minds already, or were ready to accept Pilot. But then in evening, in fact in the afternoon, a few of the Gehlot loyalists, as in Shanti Dhariwal, who's a cabinet minister, Pratap Singh Khatsirewaz, Mahesh Joshi, who's a chief whip, Mahendra Chaudhary, who's a deputy chief whip, and these 4 or 5 people, they started calling up the Congress MLAs to Dhariwal's residence. And so since the beginning afternoon, all these MLAs started turning up at Dhariwal's residence and they were made to sit there. In fact, tents were pitched there at Dhariwal's residence. And yeah, so ideally the CLP was supposed to start at 7 p.m., but then the MLAs were still turning up at Dhariwal's residence. And Gehlot, engaged Kharge and Maken at the hotel where they were staying. So that's happening on one side. And then it seemed as if Gehlot was buying time to basically have more MLAs, reach Dhariwal's residence. And like someone I know who went to the meeting, that MLA was not, he didn't have a clue as to what was going to happen at Dhariwal's residence. But then he said that, once we reached there and once there were enough numbers, around 85 MLAs, we, like Dhariwal and the others, like these 4 or 5 people, they made an emotional pitch that all of you are with us. We were all together during the 2020 political crisis. And right now, the high command seems to be, has made up his mind, seems to have made up his mind to have Sachin Pilot as a CM. But then these are the same people who had bagawat kari thi, who were traitors basically. And this is not acceptable to us. And so they made all these MLAs, sign on a printed, there was a printed resignation letter. You just had to write your name or the assembly name and then sign it, as simple as that. So all of this was essentially engineered by the Gehlot camp, mainly like 4 or 5 leaders. And of course, it won't be, a long shot to say that it was engineered by Gehlot himself. To say that, I am ready to relinquish the post, but it's the MLAs, it's the Congress MLAs who don't want me to go, so it's not up to me. So it seems to have been a very carefully crafted, sequence of events, because earlier in the day, Gehlot had gone to Tanot Mata Temple, and they're talking to journalists. He ticked all the right boxes. He said that, I'm ready to relinquish the CM's post. Asked about budget, he said that, I'll brief the next CM about the budget. And then he also said that the next generation, that the young generation should be given a chance. So he made everything, he made all the politically correct statements. But then, like by evening, his loyalists, his 4 or 5, close, aides, they were doing exactly the opposite. They were working to, keep Pilot out. So we have Gehlot saying one thing, and then we have his 4 or 5 loyalists doing exactly the opposite. So it seems to have been engineered by Gehlot himself and implemented by his aides. And like I said, it's not as if all the 90 MLAs, approximately 90 MLAs who submitted the resignation, are against Pilot, right? So that's that. And so Maken and Kharge, they insisted. So last night there was another development. So these 3 leaders, Khachariawaz, Pratap Singh Khachariawaz, and Mahesh Joshi, and Shanti Dhariwal, they met Kharge and Maken, and they put forth 3 demands. That we are happy to pass a resolution authorizing the party president, but then the decision should be taken only after October 19th. So Maken said that essentially you are authorizing yourself. Ashok Gehlot is authorizing Ashok Gehlot currently as an MLA or the CM, and his supporters are authorizing Ashok Gehlot, the president in future, to take a call on the issue of CM. So this is clearly a conflict of interest. And then second was that Maken said that we want to meet every MLA individually. Like I said that not all the 90 MLAs are with Gehlot, like 100%. Like there's some are still in 2 minds. Some are ready to go by the party's decision. Some say that we are just Congress workers, and whatever the party decides, whoever becomes a CM, that will be acceptable to us. So that's why Maken said that we want to speak individually to everyone, but then these representatives of the Gehlot camp, Dhariwal and Joshi and Khachariawaz, they said no, we'll meet you in groups. So again, the idea being that if you go to meet these 2 people in groups, then the MLAs won't be able to talk freely. And then the third condition which these guys put before Maken and Kharge was that no one from the rebel camp, the ones who had rebelled in 2020, no one from that camp should be made the CM. Only among the 102 MLAs who were with the government, who supported the government, who prevented the government from falling, only one among them should be made the CM.